Hello, grade 2. Welcome to Maths online learning for term 1. And in the beginning, we are going to start with a quote, which today is: wake up every morning believing today is going to be a better day than yesterday. Because today you are learning again. And it's going to be a good day because, well, I'm here, you're here, and we're ready to go. So what are we doing today? We're doing maths, of course, and we're going to do chapter 1, and we're starting off with numbers to 100. So hopefully you've got your maths books ready to go. Your textbooks is what we're going to be starting on first. And at the beginning of your textbook, you should see all these characters. Hopefully you are familiar with them from grade 1. We have Smarty, Min, Ari, Rita, and Tom. And they will be the little characters which will help you throughout this book. Okay. So, here's a little bit about how to use the book. At the beginning of each chapter, we have what we call a chapter opener. So this introduces topics in a stimulating way, with prompt questions provided to encourage active discussion. So, as you can see here, is the title of the chapter. Down here, you will have what they call the learning objectives, which is what you should know by the time we have finished each chapter. And there's usually some little clues or information here, or questions about what is going on with the chapter. And next, on the next page of each chapter, you will have what they call Do You Remember? So this will be related to knowledge that you have learned in the grade before. So this will be related to things that you've learned in grade 1. So if you learned something in grade 1 and then it's a little bit more difficult, but the same thing in grade 2, first of all, it will say, do you remember this thing that you learned in grade 1? And what else have we got here? So there's materials and pictures, which will be on all the pages to help you learn. Then there will be try this pages, which are questions about the previous pages and the information you have already learnt. And it will be in this form. They're the same as you did last year in grade 1. But obviously it's grade 2, so it would just be a little bit more difficult. But I'm here to help you through with it, and your other classmates, well, at least when you're back in school, will be able to help you as well. So let's have a look at the next page. So on some pages, we have what they call Handson Maths. These are activities to do, and we'll do our best to do these while you are at home. So obviously we won't be able to all sit around a table like this and do them together while you are not in school. But I will do my best to adapt them, and then we'll see what we can do while you're at home via the online platform as well. And we have key ideas and terms, which are in boxes like this, which will relate to the information you're learning. So important to read that information and try and remember it. There's an on your own page. Yeah, again, these are similar to what you were doing last year as well. So just on your own, little questions to do. Although it is on your own, later I will help you with them as well if you are struggling. But if you can do them on your own first, that is great as well though. And then at the end of each chapter, we have more difficult questions, which are called Apply What You Know. So you use all the information you've learned at the beginning of the chapters and in the middle to answer these slightly more difficult questions at the end of the chapter. And then finally, we get I Know That. So this is somewhat of a checklist to check what you've learned and then see if you know all the information you've learned. And it'll give you links to page numbers. And if you read something and go, I don't actually know that, you can go back to that page and check, and then you can read over it again, maybe do another question or two again about that particular topic, and then that'll help you master the knowledge for that particular part that you've learnt in the chapter. Okay, so this term, this is just the book for term 1. We'll be doing numbers to 100. more about numbers, shapes and solids, halves and quarters, addition and subtraction, position and movement, and a new one which we didn't do last year will be multiplication and division. And that will be the last chapter of term 1. So we'll be visiting them soon, hopefully in school later this term as well, after we've finished the online learning. So today and for the next 3 online lessons after this, we are going to complete the first chapter, numbers to 100. So usually we would do this in school and this would be 10 lessons. But because on the online learning, I've been given 2 maths lessons to teach a week. So what we need to do is do all of this first chapter in 4 lessons. But you might think, oh, that's a lot of work, Mr. Darren. But don't worry, I'm making videos to help you in the workbook, making videos to help you in the textbook, and I will also be live teaching you as well. So you'll be getting a lot of help and assistance. Then after you submit your work, I'll be sending that back, and anything you get wrong, I'll give you feedback on that as well. So we have 24 pages to do in the textbook and 22 pages to do in the workbook. And the first one will be July the 1st, Thursday, then July the 2nd, Friday, July the 8th, Thursday, and then finally July the 9th, Friday. This will be when I set you the last workbook pages to do, and then you can complete them by the Thursday the week after, when we next have our 5th lesson. Okay, so on to the actual chapter. So that's just a bit of explaining on my part. Maybe a little bit more to go through actually before I start. So most of you should know me unless you are new to the school, because I taught you for grade 1 maths last year. But just a quick reminder, so all of the textbooks I will go through live and we'll run through the answers together. And the workbooks is where where I would like you to test your knowledge and then complete them, and then while we're online, upload them as photographs, and I will mark them and then give you them back as your grades. So the workbooks will be what I am marking, the textbooks will run through the answers together. But if you want, you can give yourself some ticks in the textbook, or you can just fill in the answers as we go through them. So here are the learning objectives for chapter number 1. I will learn to count, read and write numbers to 100. Give an estimate up to 100 objects. Know the value of each digit in a 2-digit number. And describe position. So that's 4 things that we're going to learn in this first chapter. So we have a few questions to look through here. How much of each type of food is there on the table? So, what can you see here? There's some lollipops, there's a cake, and some jelly tots. So, what you need to do for that is to count them all individually. So what you can do, it will help if you get a pen or a pencil in your case. And then as you count them, you can just tick them off. Luckily here, we can see there's 10 lollipops in each one. So all you have to do for these, so you've got 3 sets, you would just have to do 10, plus 10, plus 10. And what we can do here is add 0 plus 0 plus 0 equals 0. So that's, remember, we did place value, that's the ones or the units is 0, and then the tens, 1, 2, 3, we have 3 tens. So the lollipops would be 30. As well, I mean, it's nice and easy, we can count the cake. How many cakes are there? One cake. We have some cherries around the cake, nice and easy again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cherries. And okay, so there's the most of these jelly tots, so I'll count through them quickly. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 on that plate. How many have we got on this next one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 on this plate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on this plate. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 on this plate. So we need to add those 4 numbers together. So we have, let's start with 10 at the top. And we'll get our next biggest number, and so on, and up to 15. So again, if we're adding these together, we can add our units first. So we have 4, and a 5, and a 2. So 4 plus 5 is 9, plus another 2, 10, 11. So what we're going to do with 11, we're going to write our 1 here, but we've got a 10. So the 10 is going to have to go over to the left. So I'm going to put the other 1 down here. Don't forget about this one. So we have 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. That's 5 10s. So we write our 5. And our total for all the jelly tots is 51. So hopefully you counted the same as well. And there's no more food on the table. There are some drinks. We can do the drinks quickly. 3, 6, 9, 12, 24, 36 drinks. So 36 drinks. Is there anything else you think you could count? I have a think. What else do you think you could count? There are balloons. There's some little flags here as well. There are people. So I'll do a quick balloon count. So balloons, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 balloons. 18 balloons. Flags, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 flags. So as you can see, there are many things to count on this page. Hopefully you spotted all the things to count as well. And we have another question here. How many people do you think are invited to the party? So there are 2 people there and a robot already. How could you tell how many people were going to be invited to the party? Any ideas? So maybe we could count the drinks, which we've already done, and there were 36 drinks. So maybe there's 1 drink for each person, in which case we would have 36 people at the party. Or maybe there's 1 lollipop for each person, so there'd be 30 people at the party. Those could be some ideas, but we don't know how many people will be at the party, but those could be some guesses based on the information we do have. Okay, so spelling tests. We'll still be doing spelling tests this year. 8 words in each test. We don't want too many words, because I'd like you to remember each word, and if I give you too many, then it can be a little bit difficult to remember them all. So our words for spelling test number 1 are estimate. Just get the mouse pointer. So estimate, actual, guess, counting, 20, 30, 40, and 50. And the test will be tomorrow. We'll run the test live in the classroom. If you're not able to attend the live class, then don't worry. You can listen to the video tomorrow and then just pause it, then test yourself, then check the answers later, then you can give yourself some ticks or crosses, depending on how many you got right. Okay, numbers to 100. This is actually page 2. Although our video's been going a while, but we are only on page 2. So sometimes the initial first lesson is a little bit longer than the rest because I have to explain some more things. So do you remember last year? You counted in cubes and then you grouped them in sets of 10. Once you got 110, you group them, then you count your individual cubes afterwards. So, same thing here, except we're going to apply it to pencils. So how many pencils are there? So we're counting in tens here. So 10, 20, and 21. And we also have the spelling of 21 here. You'll notice there's 20, then a dash, and then 1. 21. And same again, 10, 20, 21, 22, 10, 20, 21, 22, and 23. Nice and simple, bit of counting practice as well, because maybe you haven't been counting in your holiday and you've forgotten how to count quickly. So hopefully that'll be a quick refresher for you. So below, there are bunches of pencils which look like this, and individual pencils which look like this. So you've got a table here. As you can see, you've got 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it's going to repeat, except we've got 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and finally 30. You can see you've got the numerals down here, and you have the words in this column here. So some of these words will be in the spelling test throughout the term. Does anyone know what comes after 30? Can you say the next 10 numbers? Yes, I can, but can you? So we have 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. Then we have a little try this box, nice and short one. How many pencils are there? Write in numerals and in words. You can see on the packet it says there are 10, 10, and 1, 2, 3, 4 individuals. So if I get my pen, if you need a bit of time to write yourself, pause now. Otherwise, if you've already written, you can have a look at the answer. So in numerals, it would be 2 and a 4, 24. Or in words, it would be T, W, E, N, T, Y, dash, F, O, U, R. Okay. So as you can see, that's the same as up here. Okay, let's have a look at the next page. Counting in tens. So we're going a bit higher with the numbers now, but we're not counting in ones anymore. We're counting in tens. So simply we go 30, 40. Although take note of the spelling of 40. The number 4, F-O-U-R, when it changes to 40, we take away the U. So it becomes 40 like this. Then 50, 60, and then can you count further in tens? How many will we get if we add another 10? Do you know what comes after 60? So it would be 70, then 80, then 90, then 100. Oh, and here it is on the next page, and it tells you the spellings as well. So it's got all the groups of individual 10 pencils. It's got the numerals, and it's got the words here. And finally, the last box tells you, there's Smarty, he says, 10 tens equal 100, which is correct, Smarty. And another interesting fact here. A period of 100 years is called a century. And some people in the world do live for more than 100 years. It is quite rare, but some people do live for more than 100 years. Do you have any family that are over 100 years old? If you do, that's very impressive. They must be very healthy people. How many cubes are there? So, in the first picture, there are all individual cubes. As you can see, what she has done here, she has grouped them into groups of 10. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 10 and 6 units here. And altogether, so you've got the 4 tens and the 6 units, which makes the number 46. Another little try this box. How many jelly beans are there? Write in numerals and in words. So pause the video if you need a bit of time to do this, and then unpause when you're ready to check your answer. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens, that's 50. And 7 ones, so that would be 5 and a 7, 57. Or FIFTY-7. Try and write as neat and tidily as you can. I'm writing with a mouse, so it probably doesn't look as tidy. So that would be your answer, 57. Oh, another page on your own. Some more counting in tens and ones. How many are there? So we've got some apples. So yet again, pause the video, and then when you're ready, unpause, and I will go through the answers here. So if you're unpaused and you've completed the page, let's have a look at the answers. Apples, we have 10, 20, 30, and a 3. So 33. Grapes, these are bunches of 10 again. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 100. Write these numbers in numerals. 24 should be a 2 and a 4. 35 should be a 3 and a 5. 78 should be a 7 and an 8. 82 should be an 8 and a 2. Write these numbers in words. Okay, I'll see if I can fit these in. If not, I'll do some arrows. 57, we saw on the previous page as well. FIFTY SEVEN. Then we have 69. SIXTY -NINE. Then we have 91. NINTYONE. And then finally we have a 100 for the last one. Does anyone know how to spell a 100? Oh. Don't forget the E there as well. 91 and 100 is 1. And we'll do a dash 100. RED. I'll do this as tidily as I can. So 91 we have NINETY-1 and 100 we have ONE-HUNDRED. Fill in the boxes. 40 and 8 make 48 something, and 7 make 67. So 60 and 7 make 67. Okay. So bingo. So we're not in class, but we're still going to play bingo. So don't worry about this card. What you need to do is make your own bingo cards, which I'll explain how to do now. How to make the cards. You will need paper, a pencil, a ruler. Also colouring pencils if you want them, if you want to colour yours in. You enter a total of 15 numbers split between all squares. You must add at least one number in each column. So a column, remember, is up and down. Those are columns. We did these in grade 1. And rows are across. So it's columns you want to worry about. So in here you can do any number between 1 and 10. Any number between 11 and 20. Any number between 21 and 30. And so on, all the way up to between 81 and 90. So what you need here is at least one number in each column. So go through and go across and write at least one in each column, and then add some more in later to make it up to 15 numbers in total. And you also need to be careful here, because 5 of them need to be on the top line, 5 on the middle line, and 5 on the bottom line. So here is an example card. As you can see, there is at least one number in every column. And the top row, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. 5 numbers in the middle row, and 5 numbers in the bottom row. So don't copy these numbers though, because if everyone does the same numbers, when I call out the bingo numbers tomorrow, everyone will win at the same time. But we don't want that, do we? We would like people to have different numbers. Okay, so for the workbook homework today, it's pages 1 to 4. If you need help with that, there is a separate video on my IBS YouTube channel. And that's it for today. So thanks for listening, and see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.